Yo, yo,
What's the deal, man?
what's happening, bro?
I'm chilling. Let me get my shit together over here, man.
It's all good.
Okay, yeah, what's going down, man?
Nothing much, man. How you doing?
I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling. How y'all doing out there with everything going on?
Hey, man, these numbers are starting to look like paychecks.
Bruh,
You
they
know what I'm
sent us
saying?
an Amber Alert to tell us the numbers was going up. I'm like, damn, y'all had to send an Amber Alert to tell us that it's going down.
Man, how many y'all have today? Do you know?
I don't even remember, bro. Once they start talking about, 100,000 million, all this other type of stuff, I'm like, all right. I ain't
Yeah,
even keeping count no more. I just know it's best to stay safe.
man, we had like 970 today. So that's what's going on with that. That's what's going on with that.
And you said
So,
y'all had already been on lockdown. Y'all's restrictions never really loosened up all the way, right?
right, we're in phase 3. So we're almost to the promised land, but we'll never make it to the promised land. So from a DJ perspective, like bars are open and close at like 11 or 10, 11, something like that. But the dance floors aren't open. So me as a DJ, ain't nobody doing the wobble with me. So
Yeah,
that's basically what's going on.
yeah. So man, let's just get into it, man.
Let's do
Man,
it.
tell me a little bit about, because I know about the Trill Azz Mixez. Everybody know about that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like,
Uh-huh.
just tell me about like early on, like how you even got into DJing, just the Nashville scene. You know what I'm saying? All that.
Well, okay, we'll start off with how I got to DJing. Of course, I've been DJing for quite a while, like 25 years. So, and that's from like the first dollar. So just imagine being in front of 2 turntables and a mixer every Friday and Saturday, every weekend for the past 25 years,
Mm.
like every weekend. So, I've been DJing for a while. I used to be a rapper, and then I was a terrible rapper, but I was a rapper. And I kind of grew up in the age where ice was big. So, I was icy, you know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Not as like the drink, but
not to
ice
drink.
dash C. Yeah. So anyway, when I was younger, rap groups used to have practice. We used to have to go practice our raps and everything. So I went over to this guy named Brandon's house, and he was like, we were waiting for the other guys to show up. So I was like, man, can I mess around for a minute? So I got on his turntables and I started messing around a little bit. And then it looked like it wasn't going to happen today. So I said, hey, man, how'd I sound? He said, you sounded terrible. But he said, but if you buy some equipment, I will, I'll treat you. And I bought some equipment and I knocked on his door, and lo and behold, he taught me, and the rest is history. So the guy that taught me how to DJ is actually Brandon Majors.
Okay.
Just to kind of, fast forward a little bit, I used to work, there was this record store in Nashville called New Life. And it was the number one record store in the state, well, in the city, but also probably one of the top 10. I'll go ahead and put it out there that, New Life Records probably one of the top 10 or 15 independent mom and pop stores in the whole South. Every artist stopped by there. And there's a backstory to the whole UGK thing, but I had gotten cool with this guy named Greg Powell, who was at Jive Records. And, this is at the time when we was like, it was a big deal to get 12 inches sent to you free to your house to get the vinyl and everything. So anyway, he talked to me and he asked me, he's like, well, who's one of your favorite groups? And I said, man, I like Too Short and everything, but I'm a real big UGK fan. This is super tight, like I had Pocket Full of Stones, like Too Hard to Swallow, super tight. So anyway, he sent me the 12 inches. Anyway, long story short, when they got the money for Riding Dirty, the budget for Riding Dirty, by this time I had gotten cool with Pimp's mama, Mama West. I had met
Okay.
Mama West. I'm kind of speeding this up because I know we don't have a whole lot of time. So I met Mama West, and when they got the budget to do the Riding Dirty promotional tour, Mama West called me. She said, Pimp C, UGK is coming to Nashville, and they're coming to the record store, your record store, because I worked at a record store called New Life. They said, so, just be on the lookout for it. So anyway, the day comes, and what's so crazy is, I don't know if you can see this picture right here.
Okay.
Was the picture that it was me. That's when I first met UGK. So Pimp C and Bun B walked in and they said, we're looking for C-Wiz. And I was like, I'm C-Wiz. They said, we heard you was our biggest fan. And I was like, yeah. So anyway, we had just started making mix CDs, and I made a mix CD called Players from the South or Players Down South. And I was mixing one day with Bone Thugs and Harmony or something, and Pimp C heard it. He was like, man, you using AR-10s, or how you sampling it, like what you like? He asked me like a whole bunch of questions. I said, no, man, I'm just using 2 turntables and a track machine. So
Yeah.
anyway, they had a show that night. So anyway, I gave him my mix CD. He had a show that night, and the gal that ended up kicking it with Pimp that night came by the store and said, hey, Pimp woke up this morning. When he left, he grabbed your CD and made sure that he really had it because he really liked it. So anyway, long story short, we're getting cooler. And I told them that I always wanted to do a mix CD. And they said, no, not right now, just no, it's not a good time. So anyway, we kept working at, I kept plugging away. Long story short, Pimp was like, let's go ahead and do the mix CD. He said, well, I guess you're going to have to come down here to get the material. This is when he lived in Atlanta. Yeah. So I got to drive to Pimp C's house, and, I basically stayed at Pimp C's house overnight. Next morning, he gave me the materials that I needed. I came back home and I started there, and that's how we got to Trill Azz Mixez.
Okay, so what is he giving you?
He gave me some instrumentals. He gave me a remix. If you've heard the Trill Azz Mixez, the One Day, the last one, the remix, that was the remix single that Jive turned down. Jive turned that down. So he just gave it to me. And he said all he did was let the acapella play, and he just played the keys with it. So it was real, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy how he put it together. So he gave me that. Of course, the Top Notch Hoes, which is really 2 songs put together as one, but he gave me the beat for that. He gave me a couple of other beats. He gave me the instrumental to I Left It Wet for You. And he just gave me some tracks and just told me what I could use and what I couldn't use and everything. So
wait. Because I don't want to go too far. I want to kind of stay right here because when you go to Atlanta to kick it with Pimp, is this your first time kind of having like one-on-one time, like private time with him?
Yes. Like I never ever, like imagine. And what's so crazy about it is we were up all night and we went to I told him I was hungry, so we went to the store, and I had an Impala SS at the time, a green Impala SS. And he jumped in the car with me. We rode to Kroger's, and we're walking through Kroger's. It's like super late, when Kroger's used to be open 24 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting me some food, and I'm walking in Kroger's with Pimp C, and he was just plain Jane. I think I asked him if he wants some coca. He said, man, I'm never eating that stuff again. He said, ever since I got somebody, I'm never eating it again. So yeah, that's basically how it happened.
So y'all in Kroger, y'all walking through Kroger.
We walked through Kroger's, and I'm just like, man, I think I asked him if he wanted me to get some coke, because he was like, man, I'm never eating that stuff again, man. So, we went back to the house, and that was it. We just chilled. He watches a lot of TV. I don't know. It was just crazy, but that's basically what happened. And then, I went home, I did the mix, and then I came back, and I let him hear it. And,
you just kind of breeze through that. There's nothing happening. Is he just regular when you go? Y'all just regular. You just being regular and shit. There's no, because usually when people talk about Pimp C, it usually comes with these stories of like, and then Pimp did this, and he did this, and he said this. And
I have a couple of those stories, but just seeing Pimp one-on-one, it was just me and him.
Yeah.
No, he was like basically, not basically, but he's just like real cool, real chill.
Yeah.
Like I put it to you like this. It was because of Pimp C and UGK and how Pimp carried himself that taught me how to deal with people. So every time I saw Pimp, like whenever UGK used to come to Nashville all the time and do a whole bunch of shows. And there was a guy in a wheelchair, and Pimp would give him a bottle of Moet and put him on the stage. And I've just seen that way too many times. You know what I'm saying? Just way too many times. So I don't really have a Pimp C story like that. I do know one time that Pimp got mad at me. We were in Louisville doing a show, and the show didn't go well, but I think he charged the guy like $15,000, and the guy paid him, right? And he did the show, and he left, and he was like, and I was chilling. He was like, Wiz, let's go. And I was like, okay. He's like, no, you don't understand. Let's go. And he got in the car. He snapped. He's like, listen, man, dude just gave me $15,000. He lost his ass. We're not hanging around. Get in the fucking limo. Let's go. I mean, it was a while ago because it was a limo. So yeah, like that's one of the few times, you know what I'm saying? He was just like, no, like stay woke. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he never, and then another good story when he came home and he called me, he flew me to Texas, picked me up in the Bentley. I've only been in a Bentley like twice in my life, and it was the gray one and the red one.
Oh, you got to ride in both of them. The gray
I got to ride in both. I got to ride in the gray and the red. So the gray one I rode in, that's when he first got out. He picked me up from the airport, and we went to the studio. I think if you saw the Pimpilation video, the studio where he's in there working with Webby and Pimp and Ken, they were all there at that time. And, I was just happy to see him. So Pimp actually did a freestyle for me. And he said this was his first freestyle ever, for real, putting it down. He said, you're going to do it for me. So the mixtape Acting Bad, Looking Hard, Volume 1 was hosted by Pimp C. He got Webby to freestyle. He got Boosie to freestyle. Dro freestyled on there. Like, it was a great CD. So he snapped on that one.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, back to taking it back. So
Okay.
after you get the vocals and everything, because they're still like, at this point, they're kind of in between, having label issues, in between albums and all that. Is that when they finally come back and say, okay, hey, well, that mixtape, you still want to do that mixtape, or are you still pushing for it? Like, hey,
I think I'm still pushing, but I think now that part is a little cloudy on how we got here. I just knew that I wanted to do a mixtape with UGK because UGK is my favorite group. You know what I'm saying? And just, oh my God, just the music and everything, and I just put everything. And honestly, I was going to give. So when we started discussing the politics of how the Trill Azz Mixez was done, what was so crazy is I was just going to do the CD and give it to him. And Pimp said this. He said, "Look," he said, "you couldn't have done this CD without us." And I said, "I know." He said, "But we couldn't have done this CD without you either. So let's do it like this. Let's just split it." I think I took 30% and they took like 60 or 60, 40. It was something like that. But anyway, yeah, I got a percentage of it. And the funny part about it is, like, the CD got manufactured here in Nashville. So basically what would happen is, the CD got manufactured, mixed, mastered, and manufactured in Nashville. I'd ship them. He'd pay for them. I'd ship them to him, and I'd keep some. And then I sell them here, and then he sell them there. So that's how that worked.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But y'all do the tape, and it becomes a big deal, man. So just talk about. Did you your whole thought process of like putting that together? Because it's you said he gave you some things, but of course you still had your own input of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I still have my own input on how to how it was going to flow and everything. He just loved the flow of it. I thought about it. I never knew the CD would end up being what it is, and I also never knew that it would open up as many doors as it has. So. And I'll circle right back to the Trill. So because of the Trill Azz Mixes, I did a Goody Mob mix CD called Nothing But That Goody. You know what I'm saying? And I did a version of, I did all the Project Pat stuff. So, I did the Project Pat Appeal mixtape, the What You Standing, all that stemmed from Trill Azz Mixes.
Wow.
Pimp said they want to know who did that CD. He told them. And the next thing you know, that's how I got those calls.
Damn. So how was the actual scene like? Are you doing anything like for yourself in Nashville? Like, how's the hip hop scene in Nashville at this time?
Right now, pre-COVID, we got.
No. I'm saying at the time that you're doing the mixes, like, where are you as far as outside of just the mixtape? Like, what else are you getting into?
Well, because the record store that I worked at, New Life. You can ask anybody in Nashville. New Life is like a huge deal. It's like an iconic place. So we sold all the independent artists. So I/Lee definitely had a pulse on what was going on because we did consignment, so they used to bring their CDs there. So Cool Daddy Fresh, Pistol, saying Haystack, all these guys, like, they had it. They ran the streets. So between mixtapes and independent artists, Green Wade, let's see, Rollo B, I'm just throwing some names off the top of my head, Boogie, all these guys, they're just legends here in the city.
Yeah.
So it was bubbling, but I guess at the time people were trying to find a way. So if you weren't from Houston, or if you weren't from Atlanta, or if you weren't from California, New York, something like that, they really wasn't checking. Or Memphis. Memphis had a real cool pool with Pat, 3-6, and 8Ball and MJG.
Yeah. Were you ever tied in with any of that stuff going on in Memphis?
Yeah.
I know you said Pat later on, but like before the whole Project Pat thing and all that.
Well, Paul and Juicy, they're family. So, they pulled me in. I did all the remixes for 3-6 Mafia. I did every mixtape or all the mixes. When they had their XM radio show, I was the DJ for the XM radio show. So, my connection with Memphis is 3-6 and 8Ball. Me and 8Ball are good friends. But I did a whole lot of work with 3-6. But it was kind of after, late 90s, early 2000s when that happened, because I think Trill came out in 98, so things kind of changed right after that.
Yeah. So, okay, do you become, because I know you said you were on the road DJing, do you become UGK's DJ at some point? Like after y'all do the Trill mixes, do y'all link up like that?
No, I was never UGK's DJ. The Adobe D was always UGK's DJ. I had done a couple of shows with Pimp where I was his DJ. I did one DJ event. They came here and they asked me to DJ, and I can't really scratch. I'll be honest with you. I can't. I'm not. I can rhythm scratch and I can mix, but I can't. I can't do that. Like I never learned that. So I did okay, but in my mind, I think I sucked when I DJ'd the concert. So I think I just kind of let it go. And then there was this one time where I tried to chop and screw, and I never chopped and screwed, and it was like, oh God, like I don't even know, like it's so amazing. Like Michael Watts is super crazy, and I don't even know how he gets it done. But anyway, back to that. No, I was never UGK's DJ.
Man, okay. So what else? I mean, I do the tape, but what else happens after that? I mean, other than the other mixtape opportunities, like I mean, I'm pretty sure you have other stuff going on, right? Do you start hitting the road, or are you getting? Because I didn't even know this. I knew about the Trill Mixez, but my boy Texas Pusher, he's been posting a lot of your classic stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, C-Wiz was like, had his hands in it, man. Like, talk about some of your other projects.
Well, what happened was, what was really interesting is I learned distribution. I learned everything from the record store. So I was making mix CDs, and they were selling very well in Nashville. But are you familiar with a distributor called Gonzalez Music?
Gonzalez, yep.
Yes. Okay. So anyway, there was a guy that worked there named Matt Cavett, and we were buying our records from Gonzalez because that's how we got the No Limit early, the Cash Money early, all the other stuff early, because that was a distributor that was doing it. So I called him one day. I said, hey, man, I got a mix CD, man. Will y'all distribute it? He says, we don't distribute mix CDs. I said, okay. So if you remember, Gonzalez used to send like these little pamphlets out with, new releases and all that other stuff. Yeah. And what happened was, this is how I caught him. There was a flyer in there. There was a picture of DJ Master Blaster or Mega Blaster. He's down in Texas.
Def Jam Blaster.
Def Jam Blaster, yeah.
My boy, yeah.
And it was a CD with him with the Men in Black cover.
Yeah, him and Aggravated. They did the MIB, yep.
Yeah, and I said, that's a mix CD. So I called Matt and I said, Matt, remember when you told me about, not carrying mix CDs? He said, yeah. I said, well, you're carrying a mix CD. He got quiet. He said, okay. So ever since then, that's how I started selling records in Houston and Louisiana. That's how that kind of grew. From that point. Oh, I did a mix CD for Lil Jon too. So
how early did you meet Lil Jon?
I met Lil Jon a while ago. Like I remember Lil Jon when he came out with I guess the original Be a Bee or Just a Bitch, and then when he did We Like Them Girls and Who You With. I remember Jon from back in those days. So matter of fact, this is it's over here. I got a gold plaque. John's like real cool, and he's real down to earth too. I've never really seen anybody or met anybody that has been like when it's publicly like just me and them in the studio, like they just chilling, like nothing's really rah 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 rah. So I can honestly say that.
Yeah. Man, okay, talk about it a little bit. We can talk some DJ shit because I'm a DJ too, man. Talk about just how the DJ game, how much it's changed from, I mean, back then. For you talking about selling mixtapes, hey, for one, you're not gonna get that shit on the streaming site. You know what I'm saying?
No, hell no.
That game has changed, dog.
That game has really changed, man. And I'm a big Apple guy. I love Apple to death. And Apple was the greatest, worst thing that ever happened to me. So when Steve Jobs walked across, first of all, I was able to get through the Napster stuff and the burning of the CDs and stuff. I was still kind of maneuvering. But when Steve Jobs walked up on that stage and said, "This is the iPod," you know what I'm saying? And you could just buy these one songs, it was over. It killed the industry. Because now all of a sudden everybody just wanted an iPod. So it killed the industry. As far as DJing goes now, I mean, first of all, like, my God, you're talking to a guy who used to have to grab 5 random people out of line just to grab crates.
Yeah.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? Now we just show with a laptop. I'm a controller guy. You got a controller? Or
yeah, I got the SX3. So I'm using the SX3 right now.
Okay, I got the SRT 1000.
The 1000, yeah.
And I got a DDJ SR2.
Okay, I had the SR2, yeah.
Why did you let it go? Oh my God.
So what happened was, I love the SR2 because, the 2, I had the 1 first, and then they did the 2 where they put the XLRs in the back.
Yeah.
Which was perfect. And then I ended up spilling something, or somebody spilled some shit one night at the club or something like that, and instead of me getting it, I just went and upgraded to the next one, to the SR.
Oh, man. Hey, listen, man, let me tell you something, man. I live by that thing. That thing works really, really good, and it's USB powered.
USB
So I
power,
mean,
yeah, it's small. You know what I'm saying?
small, light, you know what I'm saying? You just if you on that wop 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 wop, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how I get down. I'm just a controller guy, man. So, I'm sure you. What's your computer? It's a Mac? You got a
Mac,
Mac?
yeah,
Or,
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's basically it. But now the game has changed. Like making the mixes the way that they were made back in the day. There's just not any money in it. Because everybody wants everything streamed. And I don't know. I would
You getting a
love,
fraction of a fraction of a fraction
right?
of
And
a
you're
fraction.
like, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I was like, that's basically where the DJing is. Um,
Talk about, because I mean we're talking about now with these fractions and the streaming and all that. But how many units and how much, like, how lucrative was it for you when the mixtapes and everything was moving, man?
oh my God, it changed my life. Like that was a lifestyle change. Like, like I remember a couple of guys because New Life Records sold. We sold baggies. We also sold isotal. We sold digital scales. We sold all that, and I worked there, and I was making quite a bit of money. So let's just say this. Let's say, hypothetically, if I sold maybe 5,000 CDs at $8 a watt, that's like 40, and I
Come on.
release 3 CDs a month. I mean, 3 CDs a year, or 3 or 4, and then we got the side projects, and then we got the through the distributor. Like it was ridiculous amounts of money. I did very, 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 very well. Um, so like when clubs would get shot up, I never stopped making mix CDs. Uh, me and my business partner Daryl J, we really, 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 it was some great living. So that's why I'm so mad at Apple for basically fucking up the church's money. So, but I got an iPhone like everybody else. I got a Mac, iPad. I mean,
This is the
I ain't got.
times we in, man. What do
Hey,
you think would be the answer to doing what was done back then in this day and time?
the answer as far as what, like,
How do you get over that hump? Like, how do you get over the streaming? How do you make this lucrative again as a DJ? Do you think?
man, basically what I've been able to do is events. But this is all pre-COVID conversations.
And, and,
Um,
and and when I say this, I'm not even talking about DJ. I'm talking about from the mixtape, like that standpoint, putting out product. Of course, the club, the DJ ain't gonna be what it is as far as DJing events, but the mixtapes and the
I really don't know because here's the thing. So from my perspective, I made the CD, I mixed the CD, I pressed the CD up, and I sold the CD. I mean, I hear people talking about that piff and the mixtapes, and I don't know if that's just a place where you can post it and you get the likes, or like I don't know, that end of the game, because I looked at it and I was like, well, I don't know how I would make any money.
right.
So if I can't make any money, then I might as well I can't. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I do a whole lot of DJing on the radio here, the adult radio station. So, I mean, that kind of keeps me in the groove of things. So the only thing I could say is DJ in such a way that it gets you gigs, maybe. Like it always comes back to the gig. Not unless, I'm definitely during the pandemic, a lot of my CDs, I still have some stock. So that's been selling really, really well, and it really worked out. But I don't have an answer for that per se. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because it's all hardware. You got to buy the hardware. Like I never even went down. I went down a little bit the slimline jewel cases, like with the DJ dramas and all that other stuff. I went down there a little bit, not there, but I did a few CDs like that, but not many.
Yeah.
Not many at all, because I just couldn't wrap my head around it. You're talking to somebody who,
You made the bread.
yeah,
You've had this distribution. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, just distributor here in Nashville, Louisiana, and then up in not Cleveland, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's kind of hard to swap those dollars for dollars. Those dollars are just not there anymore.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, with the UGK, the Trill mixes and all that, did you still keep in contact? Well, of course, the pimp and everything, but did y'all ever do anything like, or talk about doing anything in the future together?
Really, this is a story that I don't really ever get a chance to tell, but it's definitely divine intervention. So I was working with this group called Fan First, and I had a plan to do a distribution deal with, I guess, UGK Records, right? So I flew down to Houston to talk to Pimp about the deal. This is when Pimp was living in a high rise. Okay. Went up there, you know what I'm saying? Walked through the door, we just chopped it up, hung out. I mean, everything. And we kind of talked about the distribution deal and how we could make it work. So the plan is that I think he said he'd do it for 50,000. So like I want him to do like a Pimp C presents Fam First. Not exactly how he did Trill Entertainment, but I just needed his cosign. So maybe a couple of drops here and throughout it just to kind of get it flowing. And he was going to do that. I was going to be the road manager for the group, and I was going to get paid that way. And then when Pimp was on the road, this would be the opening group for the show, for the road, for the concerts, and it was just going to work out. So anyway, long story short, we hung out that whole night, and we watched TV. And when I got up the next morning, he was flying to LA because he was going to do some recording with Paul and Juicy because he was talking about being the newest member of 3 6 Mafia. And when he got up,
wait. Pimp was going to be in 3 6 Mafia?
Yeah. The connection between UGK and 3 6 Mafia is ridiculous. Oh my God. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying nothing because you can elaborate. The floor is open. You know what I mean?
No.
This is all kind of new. Like I may have heard something about him, like maybe working with 3 6 or maybe being a part.
Yeah.
But
yeah, him and Paul and Juicy. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Man, I love them Paul beats, man. Them Paul beats." Yeah. So that's I remember when he got out. And he said he always wanted to rap over that Choose You beat. You know what I'm saying? So like I have that story. So anyway, long story short, let me tell that story and I can go back and tell you something else. So anyway, when I woke up, I flew back to Tennessee. When he woke up, he flew to LA and he died.
Oh,
so by divine intervention and what helps me, sleep well is God gave me the opportunity to hang out with Pimp C one more time before he died. One more time, and then when it happened, of course, Mama was gracious enough. I went to the funeral. I went to the private viewing. Everybody was there. The private view, like all the artists, you know what I'm saying? And then, rode over there to the auditorium, sat on like the second row next to on Mama's side because everything was split up. Like I don't know, but I was over there with Mama and Dad. So yeah, I went to the funeral, and that's it. So I was.
Wait. You said it was split up. Split up. Like what do you mean?
So like I guess different families, like the wife's side, and then Mama West's side. Like I don't know. Like I was
split up. Like when you go to a wedding type shit. Like
yeah, kind of like this aisle between the two. At the auditorium, if you could ever look at pictures, I don't know if they even have pictures, and you look at the auditorium where Pimp was, there's a split, there's an aisle between the chairs. So anyway, I got an opportunity to spend time with Pimp. So that was the one thing that really, really meant a lot. And of course, I was distraught like everybody else, but like, yeah, I cried and I cried and I cried. Yeah, oh my God, it was rough. So anyway, yeah, that's the whole.
So did you ever get close to the Bun, or was it more like you and Pimp? But that was kind of like more so who you were.
Me and Bun are definitely mad cool, very very cool. It's all love, no problems with me. Me and Bun, we love each other. But I guess I talk to Pimp more than I talk to Bun.
Yeah. It's usually like that when I ask people. It's just always interesting. Some people say, "Well, yeah, man, with me and Bun, I was close to the Bun. I was close to the Pimp." It's just always Yeah. So talk about with the Goody Mob project, man. Like, so that came from UGK. Did they put you on to them, or you just happen to link up with them on your own?
Well, Gip spends a lot of time in Nashville because of at the time Joy Gillum from here. So he used to be here all the time. So anyway, he told me he wanted me to do a mix CD for him. It's called Nothing But That Goody. And what was so crazy is he came to New Life Records. I waited for him to come to New Life Records, and he said, I got the material, and he said, I said, man, you want to go to like O'Charlie's or something or J. Alexander or something? He said, no, we just go to McDonald's right here. So, I'm sitting up here discussing the mix CD in McDonald's with Big Gip. So he gave me, the songs, and, to this day, those songs are still unreleased. And I did the mix CD, and it did pretty well. Not no mix CD did as well as Trill Azz Mixez, but they all did really, really well.
Yeah. Have you had one that's probably like your second most? That you would say, okay, this is probably my second most popular tape after the Trill Mixes?
The Swisher. Okay, so the Lil Jon mix CD was a big deal because it was me and Michael Watts. To this day, we still have the same manager, Mike Clark. He put us together. So when I did a double CD, like one CD was regular, the other CD was a Swisher House remix. And this was at the time where, you know, Still Tipping was kind of like,
This 05. Yeah.
So right around that time when he was chopping and screwing those mix CDs with me, those did extremely well. But, you know, I'm not blind. I know that, you know, you can like be very successful being in Texas and not even selling one record outside of Texas. So for Texas to show me as much love as they've shown, and you know, I my God, like Texas, yes, between Louisiana, Texas, between Tennessee, Texas, Louisiana, like those three areas. Oh my God, I never really did a whole lot of damage in Atlanta, but I did very, very well, of course, in Tennessee, and of course in Texas and Louisiana. So those three places.
Yeah. Okay.
And go ahead.
We started talking about the in the middle of it, we started talking about the Pimp C and the 3-6 Mafia thing a little bit.
Right.
And you said you're gonna come back to it, but I know you kind of that was in the middle of me asking you.
Yeah. That was yeah. He wanted to be. Well, he was. You know, he discussed. You know, doing it. I guess
like being an official member of the group.
Well, I know that he was going to do songs. Maybe it was just like a compilation of the Underground Kings or something like that. It was going to be something, Underground Mafia. It was something where they were going to put both of the names together. But yeah, there was some definite talk of that. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Let's see. I say, okay, Rock the One. He didn't want to be. He was. You know, that's not a one. He was. You know, they were doing songs together and everything.
Damn. Well, all right, man. Well, I mean, shit. Is there anything? Because I mean, as far as mixtapes, bro, I mean, nah, you've done some pretty amazing stuff. You know what I mean?
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Trill Azz Mixez alone, you're gonna go down in the Hall of Fame for that off top. You know what I mean? That's gonna live forever. That's gonna live, you know, long. Go ahead.
Oh, and I gotta give a shout out to Julia Beverly. Oh my God,
Beverly. She mentioned you in the book. She made it a point to say how important that was in that time. You know. What it did for the group and just your involvement and all of that.
I remember when Julia called me and we did the interview over the phone. Like, that means a lot. That book is everything. Amazing. Oh my God.
That book is like, it's almost 800 pages and it's so good that I sat in the house for a weekend. Between Friday and Sunday, I was done.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Oh my God. That book is good. And Julia did really, really good on the Jay Prince book. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's another good one. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's really good. So but I just wanted to say that about Julia Beverly, man. So and thank you. I'm glad, and I think it's a blessing that Trill is what it is, and that, you know, I was able to get recognized for doing it, and you know, and that nobody will ever debate that. So that means a lot.
Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, so at this stage, I mean, what is it about for you? You know, as far as just accomplishments, or you kind of like, man, I'm just riding it out right now.
I still want more, but you know, business endeavors, definitely a lot of business endeavor, that I'm looking at. Music is always going to be in me. I'll continue to DJ and do events, but, I mean, that's basically it, you know. I mean, I'm definitely very happy. I love these new DJs, you know, amazed at this technology. Of course, you know, because I'm one of the OGs, going live was something that I was like, huh? What? How do you do this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I never knew. Even with this is an experience in its own. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah, I'm just chilling, I guess. To answer your question, yeah, I'm not really riding it out. I'm working on some things, but I'm gonna tell you something. You know, the virus will humble you, and all the plans that you had, I had,
bruh,
and how we was finna get, we finna get it. I did. Man, no. Everybody team sit at home. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, right now, I guess once we get past this, we'll see where we're at. Because, you know, I was talking, you know, my age group or the people, and I think I was telling you that the people that you know, my people are like from 35 to like kind of like 55. And I asked them all the time. I said, "Would you be comfortable in a room with 300 people right now?" And the answer is no.
Yeah.
So, I still got some more work to do.
Yeah. I mean, even with the clubs, though. I mean, because if the dance floor ain't open, you're still DJing in the club even with no dance floor?
I'm not DJing in the club with no dance floor. I got to hold up,
Yeah.
period, point blank. I mean, I'm sure there would be some opportunities, but I got to hold up right now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just the smartest thing anyway, man. It's, I saw somebody saying this was, it's like a group project, man. Like everybody got to kind of do their part on this one, man.
Yeah, it is a group project. It is, man. And I don't understand it. It's like, oh my gosh, like I just don't have any answers. I just don't have any answers. I wish I did, but I just don't. I don't know anything. I want to get out there. I want to jump out there. But man, here's the thing. I got family just like you got family. I have older people that I care about, and if they get sick, it's over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll take it personal when I should have just done what I was supposed to do. So that's the only reason why I'm really chilling, man, because I can't do anything else.
Yeah.
Not right now. I got to play it smart.
I feel that. So tell me about how was the today, man? How was like the scene out there in Nashville? Do y'all have a scene? Like how's everything out there in hip hop?
Right now, hip hop wise, yeah, we're doing our thing, man. A lot of things are bubbling. We have a few new artists. Starlito is still out here doing this thing. Of course, Jelly Roll is doing this thing. A lot of people are doing their things, and a lot of producers are doing their things. Of course, from Nashville, we have a few producers. Fade Eastwood, I know he's from the crib. I know that, of course, Tay Keith is from Memphis, and Bandplay is from Tennessee as well.
Yeah.
So we got a little something going on. You know what I'm saying? I can honestly say that.
And you said you just kind of just more so doing the radio thing right now.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Doing the radio, and whenever events are ready, I'll be ready for them.
That's what's up, man. Well, man, you got anything else before we get up out of here, man?
Man, everything is good, Donnie. I'm humbled that you even asked me to do this, man. Anytime you need me, man, just holler at me, man. Hopefully, when all this is over, we can do a live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, no, we definitely we gonna have to connect again and just continue to build, man, and put some stuff together, man, for sure.
Yes. For sure, I appreciate it, man.
Sure. No, I appreciate you joining me, man.
Nah, man. Well, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it, man.
That's what's up, man. Well, hey, everybody watching, I appreciate y'all tuning in. My homie C-Wiz, I'm Donnie Houston. We out.
Peace.